Hello, everyone. Today I'm joined by Fresno State running back commit Julius Gillick. Thank you for joining me today.
Of course, thank you for having me. Much appreciated.
Yeah, anytime. I'll start with my first question. How old were you when you started playing football?
Um, I was actually pretty old. I started late, middle school. So I think around like seventh grade, I might have been 13, maybe 12. So not as long as a lot of people, that have been doing it since they were 6 or 7, but I mean enough to know what I'm doing. So
Yeah, so you've had enough experience to know the game well, but
yeah.
compared to like some of the other guys who are like playing at your age, like they've been playing like, oh, I was 5, I was 6.
Yeah. I wish I had those type of answers, but my folks wanted to keep me out of it for as long as possible with all the brain stuff. But it's just not really that big where I'm from. Honestly, it's more of like a basketball city, basketball state. So, but glad that I chose it. It's working out.
Yeah,
So yeah.
it worked out for you because now you're going D1. So,
Yes, sir.
what was your biggest learning experience from high school football?
Biggest learning experience. That's a good question. Because this is I'm currently at Edison, but this is my third high school. So moving here, I'm from Seattle. I attended two in Seattle, and both of them I was a little bit under regarded, to say the least. That's not really why I left. I didn't intend on ever leaving the area, but I don't know if you've ever been. It's not really the safest spot.
I haven't been there now.
But I was I was a punter actually for my first
Oh,
two
really?
years. That's where they wanted me to be at. I was same height, same weight, same talent, but I just wasn't really given the same opportunities. I kind of when you say learning experience, it was a learning experience. Being underutilized and not really being able given like a chance at all. I felt like I was working. I felt like I was doing just as much as the people in front of me, but I was I think the sixth string running back my sophomore year, behind some people that haven't really gone anywhere. So it was a learning experience, to just be somewhere where I wasn't appreciated, and kind of know what that looks like. Because some dudes come into high school and they're the guy right away, and they kind of get a sense of entitlement, But I feel like kind of starting off at a place that didn't want me was very helpful, mentally to kind of know I'm replaceable, know that I got to work even more, I got to let it show, So learning experience was just knowing what it feels like to not really be wanted, and it's good to know because then when it hits you, because coming into college, I'm not going to be the guy right away. I mean, I'm doing a lot of good stuff out here right now, but I gotta adjust, I gotta adapt, and it's harder for some guys. That's why you see people transfer after a year or 2 years when they're not just thrown into the spotlight right away. Because they don't really know what that adversity is like. To have to
Hmm.
sit behind, to have to like watch someone else. So I think that's going to be really helpful for me down the road.
Yeah, so it showed you and you were able to learn how to persevere through that and to keep working. So like you said, when you get to college, there's a lot of talented guys and they're just bigger and older at the time they've been in the college program. And like you mentioned, some of the high school recruits, they haven't ever experienced that because they've always been the best at their high school, but it's a whole different game at the college level. But you already have that experience to just keep working and get through it.
Yeah, I think it'll be very helpful. So grateful for it, even though I
Yeah.
hated it. But yeah,
What was it like to win the state championship this year?
it was surreal. You can't really describe it because it's not like a describable thing. I mean, it was something that not a lot of people really thought we would be capable of doing at Edison. It's not. It's always been a good program, but it's never really been. We're not Mater Day. We're not Bosco. We're scrappier. Uh, a lot less accolades. But this year would have been the year, out of any of them. The senior class was really great. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the guys around me. We had studs are on the board. Not a lot of dudes are really going places, but everybody was just like at that level. Really bought into the culture. So what led us there was mentality. We got Troy Thomas, who was our the Servite head coach. He's our new strength and conditioning and defensive coordinator. he instilled a lot of like Trinity League stuff. You know about the Trinity League, right? You
Yeah,
might know.
modern day
Yeah,
baskets.
he instilled a lot of that, like that stuff, because those dudes have been doing it right for years. They're national contenders and all that stuff. And he instilled a lot of the same kind of mentality and the same kind of just wisdom that he took from there. Being the certified coach for as long as he was, and put it in us. And I mean, that's what got us there. But winning it was it was confusing, because as a senior, it's just like I'm supposed to be happy, but I'm also not supposed to be happy, because we won, but that's it. That's
Hmm.
it felt overwhelming, honestly. When that final second ticked off and we got that win, it felt like I didn't really know what to think, what to do, But I mean, no tears or nothing. We still got to win, we still got a ring, and it's something I'll remember forever for sure. And I think this community will. I don't know how long it's going to be till they get back there. Hopefully soon, but um, it's it's a legacy to say anything. I mean, I'll always have that, and that's something my family will always have, and my teammates will too. So it's again pretty undescribable, but a mix. It's a mix of emotions.
Yeah, because it's like you did it, you won the championship, but at the same time, you're never gonna get to go back and play high school football ever again.
I mean, best case scenario to end the senior year, but you still,
Yeah,
and that's just where it comes in. Like it's over. Gonna be a college player now. It's weird to think
and you
about.
beat Central, who's from Fresno.
Yeah, and they got some good kids out there. They got a good running back too. So I might even end up being teammates with them in a year or two. So we'll see
Yeah,
what
who
happens.
knows?
Mm.
What was your favorite high school football memory?
Favorite high school memory? Uh Gosh. I read over this and I kind of skipped it when you showed me these beforehand. It was something that I couldn't really answer. Just all of it, all of it just to like combine my experience, my first 2 years and this, and it just uh, to pick one would be unfair to the rest of
Mhm.
it. Um, but if I really have to, which is the question, um, we had this one game. It was our week 3 game. So Edison came into this year. We lost our first two by 1 point each time. Both of them were very winnable games, but they were also to not great teams, So I was thinking, we're all in the locker room thinking on the way back after our second loss, like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do with this year? Is it just going to be a wash? Because we had a 6-5 record the year before. It was really underwhelming. It just wasn't what we were capable of. And we are all thinking, like, are we going to have to repeat this? Are we gonna go through another just mediocre year? And then we come into week 3, we're playing Lakewood. It's a team from Lakewood, Long Beach
Yeah,
area.
I was born in Harbor City and lived in
Oh,
Lakewood,
really?
actually. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, no. So we were playing the Lancers, and we uh, we won the game 28-21 or something. I had all 4 touchdowns. I had 300 something yards, and in the first 2 games, I'd gotten like 10 carries a game, and then we came into that one, and I got 30. So I almost tripled. No, sorry, I didn't almost triple. I almost tripled my average. Uh,
Hmm.
and then getting that amount, like putting it on my back, and then like realizing that I could do it. Win that game for us. That was something that I kind of like realized was going to be what we were going to do this season. And then I didn't have another game under, well, another healthy game under. I think like 25, 24 carries for the rest of the year. So it was like the Kickstarter, and my quarterback Savaleon Umata, kind of gave me my props, in the locker room after, and it was just a really good feeling, a really good. I felt like that was the real start of my season. It was week
Hmm.
3 when we really got the ball rolling. So yeah, then we won 6 straight. So just Lakewood.
Yeah, so you realized that you were gonna be able to be a huge contribution to leading the team to victory in the state championship, and that you could take the team far.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely.
What made you pick Fresno State?
Um, Well, I've been a Fresno State fan too. Not like diehard. I'm from Washington. I love my Huskies. But there have been someone that I've always really had my eye on. I kind of like the scrappiness, and I think what was it 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago? They were ranked top 20.
Yeah,
That was
like
really
Jake Hayner.
seeing like a Mountain West when they were like a Mountain West team get that far. And just really like prove that it's not little football. It's not FCS, it's not D2, it's Division 1 football, and they can go places. And during the recruiting process, they were kind of late, honestly. I think the first time I actually spoke with their staff was maybe December. So
Oh
it all
wow, it is late.
happened very quickly for me. But my other looks, I mean, I hate to, say it out here, but not a lot of people want a white running back nowadays. So I felt under recruited. I think that's something that you can ask anybody that's been around me, any coach, any player, and they would say the same thing: is under recruited is the
Hmm.
right way to put it. And I was having a conversation with Coach Pryor, their running back coach, and he was saying the exact same thing. He was telling me, he was just like, I know nobody wants you right now, or FCS schools want him. I was previously committed in Montana.
Hmm.
So, but like no FBS wants you right now, but like I'm gonna look like a genius in a couple of years. So, so just come on over. And it really wasn't a hard decision for me. I when they actually gave the offer after I've been talking to them for a little bit, I didn't hesitate. I took it on the same phone call. Same sentence actually. Um, it's a place that I think that I've been watching and I think is going to go places, and especially with JT showing that you can take those smaller schools to those higher levels. I felt like it's a place where I'm probably the scheme's really good. Their new coaches are both from the Dakotas. They run the ball a lot. Like I think we're gonna have like a 60-40 split this year with running the football, which is as a running back, it's a dream to play in that type of
Hmm.
system. We're just pounding the football. And that was something that made super clear to me is they're gonna be a running team. And also knowing something they made clear to me is like they don't have really like specific running backs like me. They have a lot of scat guys, a lot of speed guys, um, maybe some power guys, but I'll be the biggest in the room. Officially, like I'm officially already, I'll be the tallest, I'll be the heaviest. Um, and so their room is talented. They have a lot of talented backs. They just got a transfer. Rajon Luke. He's a dog.
From
Uh,
Arizona.
they're freshmen too. They're freshmen from last year. Like they've got a lot of good running backs, but they don't have like somebody that runs like me, because everybody's style is different. You can't
Hmm.
compare Henry to Jameer Gibbs, but they're both awesome running backs.
Yeah.
And so it's just like the look that I would bring to that room is something they don't have. So that's like situationally, I'll be a freshman. I'll probably be playing. That's something that's my right to lose. Right now, like I'll get carries my freshman year. I'm not gonna redshirt. That's not something I plan on doing or they plan on me doing. And that's not like cockiness. That's like conversations that I've had with the staff. Like I'm part of the scheme already. We're gonna be running two back stuff. And I mean, I don't intend on being a all American or nothing my freshman year, but it's somewhere where I know I'll go in and I'll touch the rock. I'll tote the ball a little bit for my introductory seasons. It's just somewhere where I feel like I'll get a lot of love. You know, um,
Yeah.
and they got a lot of love to give. Central Valley, there's no pro team out there, and the dogs are all there is to root for. Like they were telling me on my visit, um, that the Valley, it's like the same size as the state of Tennessee, and there's not a single football team in there except for Fresno State. So just like imagine how big that would be if like the Volunteers were the only team in Tennessee. So it's just like kind of putting that in perspective, and then I realized why the games are all sold out, why they average 40,000 fans. It's like there's a lot of love in the Valley, and there's only one place for it to kind of channel into. So I think that I'll be I'll be an asset early on and kind of develop into it, but it's just somewhere where I feel like I can earn what I need. You know.
Yes, and It really make an immediate impact. And like you said, the crowd, the valley, the V on the back of the helmet, like the scrappiness that it represents, and like you say, it's always sold out. The community, they're always going out to the game. It's loud, it's not as big as like a big tent stadium or something, but it's always sold out and it's loud, and you're gonna have the fans to play in front of every week.
For sure. Big city too. A lot of teams, have like good teams, but they're not really playing anywhere. Like where even is Athens, Georgia? What do they have? Like 75,000 people, stuff like that. So it's like an environment where I don't think I'll get bored. I'm a city kid. I'm from downtown and then like Central District, Seattle. That's somewhere where there's always a lot going on, and so
Hmm.
I feel like I'll stay out of trouble but entertained at the same time. Fresno, it seems like it
Yeah.
makes so. Yeah.
What was the biggest thing the new coaching staff preached to you?
Preach to me. Well, like I was saying, is part of the reason I was going there is they're preaching run the rock. You know,
Hmm.
it's their philosophy is just toughness, just smash mouth football. Which is what I'm used to. That's what my high school was doing. It's a system that I've played in for 2 years, and that's what really appealed it to me. They just preach grit. They preach. The valley is a blue collar. Everybody's kind of got to survive out there. Work their way up. There's not a lot of not in like a bad way at all, but there's not a lot of privilege in the valley. Everybody's kind of got to come up by themselves. Not a lot of people come from something, and that's kind of it's the environment that's around the campus. It's around the team. So might as well make that the environment in the team too. Like you got to earn it, you got to work for it, you got to do something with yourself. And that's kind of what they were stressing a lot was like nothing's gonna be given to you, nothing's gonna be handed to you. Best player plays. So, go out there and do what we've seen you do. And that's why they're bringing me in is because what they've seen me do, but it doesn't really mean anything anymore. I'm starting from scratch. I'm gonna be the new kid on the block out there. There's not another freshman running back. There's not another person. I gotta be I'm alone in that, So it's an
Hmm.
experience that I'm excited to have, but it's a little scary at the same time, you know.
Yeah. So just you get that you're gonna get your fair chance, but they're not just gonna hand it to you. It's gonna be through your work that they see and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you like about the new coaching staff at Fresno State?
Kind of the same things I've been saying is they seem, interested in the run game. They seem interested in scoring with and backing up the backs in the room and utilizing us all. That's something that I really like is they don't want to have one guy. They want to have a whole room, a whole stable. Um, which is something as up and coming running back is really appealing. It's really appealing to know that it's equal opportunity. Um, and another thing I like is just the personalities. Coach Pryor, the running back coach, he's a funny dude. He's a great guy. Our relationship's still pretty new. Like I was saying, he's always known about me. He's known about me for a year or two. But the old staff, they didn't need my style. They didn't want me as a running back. So when
Hmm.
he when he proposed me to the old staff, they shut me down. They said no. And then I was the first person he brought up in their new meetings, and the new staff loved it. The Ants, Coach Ants, the head coach, he was a little intimidating at first, when I was going in to meet him and talk to him, but he's a really down to earth and just like nice guy. He sat there the whole time. He had one leg or the other. He was just talking to me like a human being. It wasn't like a business transaction. It wasn't anything like that. It was just like I felt like he cared. And I
Hmm.
know I know it's not what it seems, but like I feel like it's really hard to fake that. And I don't think that's what they do there. I think they kind of show themselves. I think the staff is really open and really just real. They're real with the players. They tell you what you need to hear. They tell you what you don't want to know. And that's something that not a lot of people do. Not a lot of people have that honesty to make you better because that's their job is to make me better, to coach me. So
Hmm.
I feel like it's a group of guys. Josh Davis, the OC, Ents, the head coach, Pryor, the running back coach. Those are three dudes that are going to coach me. They're not gonna just have me there. They're not gonna play me. They're not gonna do whatever. They're gonna coach me. So it's appealing to know that I'm gonna get better. You know.
Yeah. So that there's genuine people and that you know that they care about your game and helping you reach your goals that you have and that they're gonna help you improve every week and every day.
Yeah, most definitely. So it'll be nice.
Yeah, for sure. What are you most looking forward to at Fresno State?
um, Game day. The atmosphere. I mean, I was taking my pictures in the stadium. And it just from the logo looking out. You've been to games before, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've only seen it on camera, so I don't really know what that energy is like. But just looking out, it looks big. It looks like it's ready to be filled out. They're just calling for it. So I've heard great things about what the Red Wave does, and I'm excited to see it for myself. I wish I was a little earlier in the recruitment process. Maybe I got to go see a game, maybe I got a visit or something. But I mean, that's not something I was, you know, um, just situationally. So I mean, I'm not complaining about it at all. I'm thankful for what I got right now. But I'm just excited to see it for myself, and it's gonna be cool knowing that the first time I see it, it's gonna be for me. Well, and the other
Yeah.
guys, I'm not gonna be part of the crowd. I'm gonna be part of the band. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, the game day's like, yeah, it's really fun. And like you said, now they're gonna be out there cheering your game on, the game that you're playing in, so which will be cool running out of the tunnel when they line up.
Yeah. Yes,
How excited are you to be joining the Pac-12?
uh, really excited. That's probably the most appealing part for me. Growing up in Seattle, I was going to every UW game, and the Pac-12 really means something to me. And I'm a really sentimental guy. Like the West Coast means something to me. I've lived in Washington, I've lived in California. I've spent a whole lot of time in Oregon, and just up and down. That's the Pac, that's the Pacific. The ocean,
Mhm.
like we're on it. And it's I feel really connected to it. And, just growing up, I would never watch the SEC. I never watched the Big Ten. I watched the Mountain West every once in a while. Boise State, Fresno State.
Mhm.
But the Pac was really, was it was it was it. It was the program. It was the conference. And I know it's not the same as it was. It's different. With the whole realignment and everything, but it's still the same to me. We're still going to be playing Washington State and Oregon State, and we actually play the University of Washington. We play UW
Oh,
in 20.
really?
Yeah, I was talking to coaches about it. Because my host for my visit was Joshua Wood, the quarterback.
Oh, yeah,
I already knew him actually because he's from Central District, Seattle. He
oh,
was
really?
playing his high school football. Yeah, he plays high school football in Graham, Washington, Graham Kapowsin. And his team beat Travis Hunter's senior year
Oh,
in
they
like the
did?
or whatever. That's what I was talking to him about it, and he told me because that's obviously something he's excited for too. Like we're hometown kids, but I don't want to play for the Huskies. I want to beat the Huskies. And
Uh-huh.
that's on the table at Fresno. We have that game set. It's contractual. It's written on paper. So my junior year, we're gonna be opening up the season in Seattle. And in the in the doghouse, and we're gonna hand them an L. Me and Jay Wood are gonna go in there and we're gonna give them something that maybe some people might not believe, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real fun, and that's the thing I'm most excited for about Fresno is playing that game specifically. It's circled on the calendar. So
Yeah, your homecoming and playing in front of the team that
yeah,
you grew
I
up
got
supporting.
I got a lot of friends on that UW team too. I
Oh,
got
really?
yeah, Zedrius Rennie Saleh, De'Arian Clemens, Jonathan Epperson. Those are all local guys that I've known since I was, since I started my football journey, since I was, 12 years old. We're gonna be 20. We're all gonna be grown men. When I go to go play them, and they're all they're all defensive guys too. So that's
Oh,
gonna
so
be
that'll
fun.
be fun. You'll really be going
Yeah,
against
yeah,
them.
two linebackers in the corner, so I'm gonna be butting heads because those dudes are for surely gonna be starters by then. I'm gonna be it's gonna be fun because every time I get tackled, it's probably gonna be one of those guys. So I'm gonna be talking my crap in the pile, all that stuff. But it's it's exciting. I'm getting fired up, just thinking about it, and it's 2 years from now. So
Yeah,
yeah,
super cool opportunity. Like you said, the Pac-12, it holds sentimental value. I know you're talking like both my parents, they went to Pac-12 schools and Pac-12 after dark and
yeah,
that was it to watch, on TV and everything.
most definitely. Yeah.
How would you describe yourself off the field?
I kind of keep my head down. I mean, I'm living in Huntington Beach now, but it's not home. It's not my people. It's not my city. It's not really where I'm from. So, I don't fit in as well as I should. I'm an adaptable guy. That's not the issue. Like I got friends, I got all that stuff, but it's just doesn't really feel the same. I'm not like as open. I'm not as out there. Because demographic wise, it's really different. My high school, I was going to Garfield. That's where I was attending in the Central District, and it's like 85% black. Like really. I mean, it's an inner city school. And that's what I'm from is inner city. So that's
Hmm.
people I've grown accustomed to, grown close with, and coming out here, it's Huntington Beach. It's a 98% white school. Everybody's like surf dude, like just like everybody's. It's like a movie. You like I'm telling you right now, every single day here is just like a really crappy, like 90s like movie. Like there's like I don't know. It's just frat dudes and just weird white girls, and it's not for me. So I try to stay out there. I do my work. I get home. And that's usually where I stay. I don't go out that often. I don't do any of that stuff. So off the field, I say I'm reserved, which is good as an athlete too. It's stay out of trouble. Because I'm not out where the trouble's at. So off the field, I'm quiet. I mean, I have fun. I don't have a boring life, but I try not to do anything I shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, so reserved and like you said, like Huntington Beach, it's not home for you necessarily since you're from Seattle. And is your family gonna stay in Huntington Beach after or no?
I have no idea, because we moved out here initially for football, because Edison was the destination for football, So that's something I'm gonna have to see for myself. Like I don't even really know. I think maybe some of my family might come with me to Fresno. Maybe they might go to Seattle. But it's a good question that I couldn't answer. Just time will tell.
Mm-hmm. Then the last question I have is for fun. You get to take any three NFL players to dinner. They could be past or present. Who are you taking?
Jameis Winston, my number one. He's the funniest dude ever. I like not even in a weird way. I keep a Jameis Winston rookie card in my wallet. Like I walk around with it. I look up to that guy. I think he's a weird dude. But that's what the NFL needs is some more characters. They need some weird dudes. Because like
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, I'm quiet, but I'm a weird dude myself. I act like that too. I just think he's hilarious. So
He
I love
is.
just have a conversation with him. Get to know him, talk to him because he's a funny dude. And then I got to go John Ross. You might not even remember who that is.
But I remember he had a
He,
very fast combine play for
yeah,
Washington. Went to
yeah.
the Bengals, right?
It broke my heart when Worthy took it from him. That was something that he always had, but no, he was my hero growing up. Because he played on the UW teams that went to the playoff. Not the Penix one, but Jake Browning led.
Like
They
Chris
had a lot
Peterson
of
era.
guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your stuff. I keep forgetting your stuff. Usually when I talk to media, they're just like out of the loop. They don't know anything. But yeah, Chris Peterson there.
Yeah, I remember that Miles Gaskin, all those guys.
Yes, yes, yeah. No, and then Miles Gaskin was going to be my third. He went
Oh,
to O'Dea.
really?
That's the first school I was at. So Gaskin and Ross, those were dudes that I idolized. Matter of fact, I got a John Ross poster on my wall right now. I'm 18 years old. I'm a grown man. I still got a John Ross poster, you know. But no, I just that would be more for little me. You know, I know he'd be smiling if I got to actually hang out with those dudes. But not that. Yeah, that's my three. I'm gonna go Gaskin, Ross, and Winston. Got to be.
That'd be a fun day for sure. Like you said, Jameis, he's hilarious. All his like interviews and everything.
Yeah,
Like
but all that. You know, I don't
and,
condone, but it was funny. It was really funny.
and then John Ross, Miles Gaskin, you get to see the childhood of the guys you got to watch growing up.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All right, thank you for taking the time to join me today.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, thank you.